Hello, everyone. Yes, I'm going to be talking about something very important. This issue has been something that was going well before civilization. But with civilization this time around, most time it goes wrong. And what is it I'm going to talk about? You know, this goes to the men. In most cases, some men they like to train a woman through her education or learn a trade. Afterwards, they want to marry that woman. But in most cases, this time around, it goes wrong. Before, yes, it used to go well. But with civilization, some women, maybe because they are in need, they pretend that they want the man and they let the man take care of them. At the end, they don't want to marry the guy. And sometimes also, yes, maybe the woman really wants to marry the guy, but along the line, something didn't go well. She changed her mind. So it has been a very big issue, you know, of which it has caused a lot of men problems, breakdown, which is not good. So I just want to talk about it to throw a little bit light on it so that men they should think before they go into that kind of deal. It happens that some women help men, but with the women, it's not so common, unlike the men. First and foremost, for in my opinion, I would say, as a man, you meet a girl, maybe she's your girlfriend, you are not her relatives, not father, not brother, just from nowhere you decide to start training the girl through her education. There's a question mark there. For me, even I don't feel it's right. It can happen, but for me, it's not something right. Because you say, oh, I want to take care of her through her education so that when she finish, I'll marry her. Okay, for me, I will see it in a different way. Like, okay, you like somebody, you want to help. Maybe the person is not able to go through her education. Why don't just volunteer to say, okay, I'm going to help you go through your education with no string attached? If at the end of the day, both of you fall in love, fine. But not, I'm going to take care of you and you have to marry me. That is a little bit too much. I will say that. Because along the line, this is a girl who is growing up, who along her education, she's going to experience what is called life, transformation. A lot of things will come up, of which she can change her mind. So I see it as a risk for the men. Before now, civilization was not that there. Women, they endure, they will say, okay, they think twice, like, oh, this man took care of me through my education, so let me marry him. And they will just, try to compromise, just tolerate him in any situation and marry him. But this time around, it's different. Lots of women, they don't want to go through that. They are not ready to give any chances to say, oh, because he paid my fees, I'm forced to marry him. No, lots of women, they don't want to do it. And it has caused lots of problems for the men. So for me, I will say, as a man, you meet a girl and maybe you are dating her and she's finding it difficult to go to school. If you want to help her, just help her with no string attached. Then if you say you want to take care of her through her education and at the end of the day you want to marry her, why don't you just marry her and know that you are married and train her? I think is the best, so that you know that you are not training somebody to be a wife to another person. You know what I mean? Like you are training a wife for somebody else, not for yourself. So if you meet a woman or a girl and you are dating her and she has problem with her education, you want to assist her with the intention that you will marry her, just directly go to talk to her and say, I want to marry you. So even if your wedding is not going to be elaborate, you can do it in a small way. Then everybody knows that you are married. Then you can continue to invest in her, because training her is an investment. No one wants to invest on something that is not going to work. No. Even as a woman, if you invest on a man and at the end of the day the man don't marry you, you are not going to be happy. The same with the men. But most time women don't care. They just feel that, oh, I don't want it anymore. It really causes a lot of problem. I've seen cases where the man can kill the woman, and even some cases the man also falls sick, has a mental breakdown. A lot of emotional discomfort happens. So to avoid all of this, if you meet a girl, in my own opinion, and you know that, oh, I want to help this girl with the intention of marrying her later, just go along and pay her bride price. It might be in a very small way. At least do it if she agrees. Sometimes the women will say, no, I don't want that until my education is over. So if the parents or the girl, sometimes also the parents will say, no, I want her to finish her education. Then if the parents will say, I want her to finish her education, then it means the parents are capable of taking care of her. So you don't have to come in. But, or the girl will say, no, I want to finish my school. Then you have to also think a little bit that, don't you know why this girl doesn't want me to help her, that I will marry her later? So to be on the safe side, just to avoid some unnecessary situation, if you want to do it, just do it with no string attached, or pay her bride price first before you carry along. Yes, then you know that you are doing it because she's going to be your wife. Though there are some cases the woman will say, okay, no problem, I will marry you when I finish. At the end of the day, when she finish with her education, she will still say no. That is a different situation. At least in the beginning, you knew that she was going to be your wife. If at the end she changed her mind, it's a different story altogether. Not when both of you agreed and you do everything to make sure that she finishes her education. At the end of the day, she will say, I don't want to marry you. So it's very painful. If I am in that situation, I'll feel bad. So to avoid that kind of pain, emotionally, physically, mentally, just all of it, why don't you pay the bride price first? Then you know she's your wife. Then any kind of investment, you know she's your wife. I think it will save lots of situations and pain, you know, fighting, problems, death can even come up. It is better to do that. The reason why I am discussing this topic is that somebody I know very well is just in this situation where the man has invested on the girl and now the girl don't want this man. As I'm talking now, this issue is right on ground, which they don't know how to solve it. The girl don't want the man, and the man is saying, in the beginning when I started investing on you, we agreed. And the girl said, yes, we agreed, but along the line, I have changed my mind for certain reasons. So maybe if you listen to what the girl has in mind, it's worth it. But nobody wants to agree to that kind of situation. It's painful. So to avoid this kind of situation, when you meet a woman that you want to help go through her education, or to help have some handwork, with the intention that in future both of you will get married, just say, I want to marry you now. You can say, we'll marry now, maybe not having kids at the moment so that she can finish her education. Or it's also possible you get married, she can also start having children and at the same time still going to school. It depends on how both of you can arrange it. So it is better. So my dear men, I think this is something that you guys have to think about. That when you meet a woman who is schooling, or who has an intention to go to school, but she doesn't have the means, and you say, oh, I will help you, but I want to marry you. Before you say, I will help you, I will marry you, at the end, just proceed to say, let us marry now. I want to marry you now, so that you continue to train her, to take care of her. Then if the girl says no, or the family say no, then you know where you are standing. So if you still want to do it, you know you just want to do it. Not when you have a different thing in your mind, and at the end of the day, it's a different scenario. So this is something that has to be in the system of, like, oh, let me know exactly what I am doing, so that you prepare for it at the end of the day. Yes. So I think I have made sense here. So if you have gained something, just leave your comments. If you have something to add, leave your comments, share, follow me if you have not followed, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. Why? I will see you soon in my next video. You are with Pure Ways with Richie. Thanks for watching. Bye. One love.